He joins us now. It is Wednesdays with Wojo. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Oh, well, good morning. And as you know, Stoney, I am in complete control of all of my bodily functions at all times.
That's true. Now, we know, John, you might not know this. Wojo will only do number 2 either at his own home or if he's out of town staying at a hotel.
No outhouses, no restaurants,
nope.
No porta potties.
No.
So the question is, do those rules hold for farting too?
Yes. Do you know how many, when you're out in public, do you know how many butts have been on those seats? You got to be careful.
Hopefully one recently so that it's warm.
I do remember the Jim Leland joke about insurance. He told that at his relatively emotional farewell press conference from the Tigers.
I don't remember that.
I didn't remember that. That's pretty funny.
Oh, he did. Like it was a comedic, breakup of in the midst of him being fairly emotional. Mm-hmm. And we laughed and we laughed. It was very funny.
All right. That's a good segue into farewell press conferences about baseball teams that are playing poorly. I don't know.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. And we'll ask A.J. Hinch this if nothing has happened by tomorrow morning. What do you do with Torkelson? Do you give him the Badoo treatment, or how long do you stick with him? Because it's obvious he's overmatched right now.
Right. You don't stick with him much longer. And to be honest, deep in their back of their minds, they thought he might need to go back down at some point. Now, I did not think they thought they would have to send Badoo back down just for a mind clearer. But it's natural in many ways. It's probably going to happen. And the thing is, he was doing really well for a while with at least having some plate discipline and taking a lot of pitches and stuff. He's just flailing right now. And you know what I think is affecting all of them? All of the alleged power hitters on the Tigers, Torkelson, Baez, Scope, Candelario, whatever. They are getting freaked out by the absence of homers. And like I was watching in the ninth inning when they had a chance, even Meadows.
Right.
Bases loaded.
Yeah, I mean, they're really swinging wildly right now. And a few of them even mentioned, and it's become a thing now, like the one Meadows fly ball would have been a home run in 28 of 30 parks. I wonder if that gets in a young player's head quickly. The first time he's playing a lot of games in Comerica Park.
Or it would have been a home run the last 4 years, but now that Major League Baseball has changed the ball. I mean, there's a bunch of different excuses that anybody could use, but we did see, at least in Game 1, Candelario ended up with 3 hits. Jonathan Scope ended up with 2 hits. Do you believe that they might be coming out, at least those 2 gentlemen, coming out of a horrid slump?
In fits and spurts, well, yeah. I mean, that's how baseball works. I don't think an entire team. Now, I could be wrong. Stoney knows. He goes way back. I don't think an entire major league team has slumped at the plate an entire season.
No.
So it's going to happen. It's just what type of track record are we counting on? Are we counting on Eric Haas's track record from last year, which was not really a track record? Same thing with Badoo. Candelario has a little bit longer of a track record, so you think he would find a level again. You think Meadows would hit a home run. He had, 27 for the Rays, and he has none right now. I mean, nobody wants to hear it, and it's kind of stupid even to say, of course, just wait, they'll hit. But, I was at the doubleheader yesterday, and afterwards I thought A.J. Hinch would be really at wit's end, just, even getting snappy and edgy, and he wasn't at all. And I could tell why, because a longtime baseball guy, he knows the hitting will come around. He really likes what they're getting from their young pitchers, like Scooble yesterday, and even Fido for the first 3 or 4 innings. Fido. What did I say?
Fido.
Fido is a dog, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
But a dog that I don't know anybody in the world that actually named their dog Fido.
Come on, but Fido was no dog, and I think that's what to keep them sane, them being A.J. Hinch, is the hope that the young pitchers are showing, because they pitch well enough to be a 500 team right now. I mean, at least, including their bullpen, and the hitting is just staggering. And I really hope they don't let this, can't hit a home run, get into their heads, because nobody in baseball can hit a home run, and I don't think every team in baseball is slumping as badly as the Tigers.
There's a lot of optimism, believe it or not, about the Detroit Lions nationally.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Pelissero said that they got as much help for the draft as anybody. We have the rookie minicamp or whatever the heck's going on right now. The schedule comes out tomorrow. Woj, I know you're all excited for that. Do we have to
temper expectations?
Curb our enthusiasm a little bit here?
Well, first of all, let me get the schedule out of the way. Win-loss, 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 tie, win-loss, 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 win-loss.
Oh.
So 8-8-1. Okay. There, all done. Curb your enthusiasm. Well, to be honest, I know the Lions got great draft grades from the national media, and I know it's way too early, but when you look at, the Vegas odds, and you look at, the 2023 way too early mock drafts, do yourself a favor if you want to talk about curbing your enthusiasm. And there's a bunch of them out there, and they don't mean anything, but the one thing that they sort of tell you is the draft order that the writer or whoever comes up with. And everybody still has the Lions picking in the top 5 of the draft next year. Now, I know that's based on, the Vegas odds or what they think is going to be the order, but I don't think there's as much national love as you think, because people here too, I think a lot of people are just still suspicious of, can Goff do what he did for the 5 or 6 games late last season, which was very good. Can he do that? And I don't know, when they look at it closer and see how good the Lions offensive line is and their skill position players, I agree. I think there should be a little bit more embracing, but I haven't seen it as much as you guys say you have.
Well, nationally, I've seen it. We heard from TJ, obviously locally here, that he expects them to be a 9-win team, possibly a wild card team. But what are your expectations? Stoney says 7. TJ says 9. I'm curious your take, because is it simply if they double their win total, which would put them at 6, still going to get a pretty decent draft pick, but is that enough in year 2 of Dan Campbell for you to say, hey, we're seeing good progress?
I agree. At least double. I mean, honestly, from 3 or 3.5 to 6 or 7, at least double. And that doesn't even necessarily mean it's a successful season or whatever. But at some point they have to show people, and it's only been 1 year, so we're not getting wild about it, but they do have to show progress in the win-loss category. We feel like they're making progress in a lot of other areas, and especially because, for what it's worth, they will have one of the quote-unquote easier schedules, although it never really works out that way. It's based on last year's percentages. I think their schedule is 5th or 6th, the easiest or something. So, yes, absolutely. Now, when you say 6 or 7 wins, there's no or else. I don't think they're going to change the regime after 2 years if they don't win 6 or 7 games. But I think it's realistic. I don't think this is like us here in Detroit. Oh, we loved the draft and they're on the right track. I do think when you look at the foundational pieces that they have, they should be solid. I mean,
they should
solid
be
is solid. Yeah.
Yes. Finally, you grew up in the state of Michigan. Your first baseball game was Nolan Ryan's no-hitter at Tiger Stadium. So yeah. I know you, I don't know if you actually went to Cobo, but you watched Bob Lanier play with Dave Bing. Your thoughts on the Dauber and his passing?
The Dauber was awesome.
Yep.
The Dauber was one, yes, and I did grow up and did see him play at Cobo with Dancing Gus in the stands.
Yeah,
and
Benny the Jets. Bum, 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 bum.
The Dauber was the one, Bob Lanier, who, kept the Pistons competitive with the Chicago Bulls teams, yep. A couple of grinding defensive teams. and the delicate hook shot, the lefty hook shot, was tremendous. And honest to God, I'm not seeing, and thoughts and prayers and all of that. Obviously, he was a great person and did a lot of things. When I was little, people called me the Dauber because my name was Bob. And it still is Bob, actually. and hey, the Dauber. And not because I had a hook or whatever. I don't know. Bob Lanier was big at the time, and his name was Bob, and they called him the Dauber. So to many young friends, I am the Dauber, the fake Dauber.
Oh, and you were left-handed too, right? I see that.
Exactly. And have you seen my hook shot? Oh, my.
And your
Very underrated.
And you have a size 23 shoe.
If you put the two shoes together, it's not even 23.
I know. All right, Woj. We'll talk to you next week. Hear Wojo every night with Mr. Rieger at 6 o'clock. 97.1 The Ticket.